Today I'm joined by Arjun Kamani, who is an outspoken Zcash supporter, leading Zcash's memetic warfare division. He's written a few articles about Zcash, including one recent one called The Machinery of Freedom, where he argues that progress and freedom are not inevitable, but require tools that protect against political interference, with money as the most critical component, and that Zcash is the next step in the future and is needed to protect privacy and enable a freer future. So today we're going to be talking about Gen Z, marketing, and memetic warfare. Arjun, how are you doing?
Doing great, Jason. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. To start, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your background and how you became interested in Zcash?
Sure. I'm not that interesting, but I guess the story of how I got interested in Zcash might be interesting to some people. Um, I guess it goes back to how I got interested in crypto, and that was after reading Austrian economics. And the reason I got interested in Austrian economics in the first place was I thought it was a natural next step to Karl Popper's epistemology, which is all about how you know what you know, how you know what you know, right? Um, so that sort of gave me the basis for understanding a lot of other things and also like understanding why a lot of things are wrong. And economics seemed like broadly interesting to me. So I just dug into, what's the right theory of economics, and Austrian economics just made the most sense. And if you look at like what they're proposing, or what they're criticizing is like this type of money, the government money, right? Fiat money, which um, basically can be inflated forever, and it punishes savers and rewards insiders. So that's the perfect money in terms of like Austrian economics, like was Bitcoin at that time. Like that was like my understanding. So that's how I got interested in crypto. Um, but then recently, I guess a year or so ago, I met Zuko and he onboarded me to Zashi, which is pretty cool. And then I started looking more into Zcash. And funnily enough, I never really understood the privacy limitations of Bitcoin. Always sort of assumed that it was like semi-private. I know, like not really private. It was a public ledger, but I could like maintain my anonymity. But when I learned about Zcash and like all the reasons Bitcoin was not private and how you were like leaking all this information you didn't really want about yourself, then I realized like, wow, this like kind of without privacy, you're not really a free person. So Zcash makes more sense. So that's sort of like how I got interested in Zcash, from Popper's epistemology to Austrian economics and Bitcoin to finally Zcash.